Hi there, my name is Cameron Mesmer. I am the Dreaded Magician. Thanks for watching. This is the first of the critique videos. The idea being I will find a video, or actually I'll be sent a video by one of you doing a routine of your own, or a presentation, or whatever you want to do. It could be one of your own, it could be one that you saw online and are working on, but something that you are doing that you want someone else to see and tweak and critique and give you pointers on. Because I know I do a lot of things and I want feedback on them, and some people don't want to sit and take the time to watch it, and even people that aren't magicians, it's nice to have feedback on your own stuff. Even as a layman watching it, they can tell you, oh, this got kind of slow, this got kind of boring, I think I saw you do something here, this looks sneaky, that kind of thing. I have a little more insight into it because I've been a magician for 15 and 16, 17 years, and I can pick up on things easier than other people just because I know what I'm looking for. Now, I think the way this is going to work is I'm going to try to critique the video without giving too much away. Penn and Teller do a similar thing on Foolish, where they try to tell you that they know how the trick is done without actually telling the entire audience how the trick is done. Now, some things might be a little difficult to do. It's hard to critique people about magic if you can't say what the method is in some cases, but I'm gonna try really hard not to do that. But if you're watching a magic video like this, you're probably interested in performing magic, so I don't think it really matters. Laymen don't often go looking for YouTube videos just to find out how something's done. At least I don't think they do. So my first video is from Tufayl, Myburgh. I'm sorry if I'm pronouncing that incorrectly. He is from South Africa, and he has a spoon bending routine. I will link it below, and I'm going to watch it and pause it and critique it as we go. And I say critique, but that doesn't mean, oh, this is a bad video, I need to tear it apart and tear it down. This is actually very well done. I haven't done spoon bending in a long time. I kind of messed around with it for a while. Wasn't really my thing. I couldn't work it into any routines, but I worked on it for a while, so I know the methods, I kind of know what to look for. Plus, again, in presentation, you kind of see bits and pieces on what you can tweak and change to make it better. But right off the bat, really good video. I'm gonna call you T. Is that okay? By the way, I don't know if the logo is your own creation or if you stole it, but it's very cool. I really like it. Okay, right off the bat, I like it. You have some sort of explanation. You know it's weird that you're holding two spoons. This is going to be a little bit different because he's performing for YouTube and not for an actual live audience. Some of the ways he performs in the video might be different than how he would perform it in front of an audience, and some of my critiques might not matter in a live audience setting. First off, you say, hey, you're wondering why I'm holding two spoons, but I'm going to show you as soon as you pick one of the spoons. Now, I'm really assuming, knowing about spoon bending, that it really doesn't matter which spoon they bend. So, in this case, he picks a spoon for the audience member, and that's fine. And hopefully I'm not giving too much away, and T, tell me if you want me to take this down. But they are really spoons, and there are bends being put in it, just not when you think they're being put in it. So you have to be careful on looking like you're bending spoons when you're bending spoons. And most of the time, it's very good. About the 18-second mark, you take it off the screen, and I know that doesn't matter when you're live and in person because there is no screen. You're not dropping out of the frame when everyone can see you. I suppose you could drop out of frame, as it were, if you like did it to your side or using misdirection or whatever. And that's another thing, you might want to find ways to misdirect a little bit better or a little bit more as you're bending the spoon. Yeah, about the 16-second mark, there is no misdirection as you're taking the chosen spoon. If that makes sense. If you watch the video at 16 seconds, that's, I think, when you start the bend. What I would probably do is use misdirection of putting the other spoon down as you're taking the one spoon and putting it down, bending the other spoon. I think there's a little bit too much focus on that particular spot. There's nothing else to distract them with, so they might catch that. It wasn't super obvious. Maybe this is nitpicking. Maybe I'm being a little too picky, but I'm gonna watch it one more time. It's not a bad bend. I like it. I think that maybe you should hit the spoons and say these are normal spoons beforehand, and kind of as you're crossing over your body maybe, or putting the spoon down, or saying a joke maybe. Jokes are very important because that gives you a lot of misdirection. As they're laughing, as they're relaxing, they're not focusing on, oh, he's going to do something tricky. They're focusing when the move is happening, supposedly, when it's actually bending in front of their eyes. It's very good. Now the first bend at 25 seconds or so, when you have it in your hand like this, it's not a bad bend. I don't know if it's the angle of the camera or what, but it looks too bent already. When it's supposed to be straight in your hand, I don't know if it's the curve of your hand or if it might be just the camera angle, I don't know. You might want to do this in front of a live person and ask them, hey, what do you think of this? What does this look like right now? You might do a different bend right away, I don't know. I don't know if this is the first bend you should do. It does look cool bending in your hand as you kind of flatten your hand out. And maybe you should do just a slight less of a bend. Maybe start with just a slighter bend than something quite so drastic. I like the presentation on how slow you do it. I'll get to some of that in a second. Maybe, and this might not work, I don't know, I'm just spitballing here. Maybe you could shake a little bit to kind of create an effect that it really is bending. That might also hide some of the secret, but that's just something I'm throwing out there. It might not work. So at about 48 seconds, you're showing the first bend of the spoon. What I would do, and again, you can try this out and it might not work, this is spitballing, you might grab the other spoon, the unbent spoon, and show them the difference. So the one spoon going like this and the other spoon kind of going like this. So at first they're lined up, they stack together just like a normal spoon, and you can see the kind of slight bend in it. That gives them kind of a reference point of how far it has already bent. And then at 53 seconds right after, when you're saying, if you were here right with me, I would show you this is really bent. This is almost a international sign for I'm bending it. So just, if there's no talking, I know you're saying, oh, this is bent, you're kind of making that sign for, oh, this looks like it's bent, but it also looks like you're bending it, which you probably are. Yeah, you've already bent it at that point. So again, I would use a little more misdirection to do the bend. Yeah, about 52 seconds, you almost brace yourself, your hands to kind of move it. It almost signals to the audience that I am bending it right now. And maybe laymen won't notice that because you are like acting like you're bending it as you're saying it really does look bent. It just might be a little more pronounced than you want it to be, and it might tell them, hey, this really is being bent in my hands right now, and that's not what you want. So this bend at about a minute, you have one hand moving as if that hand is bending the spoon as your other hand is kind of slowly revealing the bend. It's bending in towards you. I like it. Maybe, again, have this hand a little more dramatic and a little more eye-catching. If they're watching this hand and kind of the spoon, they're ignoring the hand that's holding the spoon. This is incidental at that point. You're holding it and you're focusing it and you're going like this. Your head is not in the frame. Maybe that might also put a little more emphasis. If they can see your eyes, this is a YouTube video, they can see your eyes in real life, unless you have no head. I can't tell the video, I don't know. But if you're holding the spoon like this, and you're concentrating, and you're moving your hand kind of dramatically as the spoon in this hand is bending in, that might, again, take heat off of the hand you're holding the spoon in. I would also do it just a little bit slower. The other bends at this point have been slow enough. Metal bending, if it's real, would be kind of a slow, very focused looking thing. It would be very subtle at first, and then it would bend. I think to the spectator, if it just goes, it looks a little funky. In like mentalism, if you get a miss, sometimes it makes the hits more real. Because if like mind reading is real, you probably won't get it every single time. If this is a little more slow and a little more laboring, it might add a little bit more weight to it. The bend at a little after a minute when you're spinning the spoon around your hand, that's not a bad bend. I like it. Maybe if you're a little more casual as you're, all right, let's do one more bend. I don't know, it seems like there's too much focus on that one instance, and this is just kind of a thing in metal bending. You want to make sure you can throw enough misdirection in as the spoon is being bent. So I like the thing, say, oh yeah, it's bent, look at how far that's bent kind of thing. We're going to try this one more time. If you kind of lean forward and talk to them, maybe make eye contact. Again, this is a YouTube video, so you don't know what eye contact is when somebody's not in the room, but eye contact is a great misdirection, because if you're spinning the spoon and say, hey, we're going to do this one more time, they're not looking at the spoon. So yeah, about 1:20, the spoon is being bent in your hands like this. Go a little bit slower as you're focusing on it, bringing it up. I don't know if you want your face on YouTube all the time, but if you're maybe focusing it on the spoon like this and just going very, very slow. But I would mess with it and see how it goes. All my advice is kind of taken with a grain of salt. I'm watching it and saying, oh, this is what I would try, and it might not work. But again, with that bend, I would just really slowly concentrate and really slow that one up a little bit. At 1:24, 25, you kind of shake a little bit. I like that. Add a little bit of that. I mean, it doesn't have to be like, I don't want you to have like tremors, but just like a little bit of dramatic, just shaking just a little bit. It also makes it seem like it's more difficult. If you're just holding the spoon and it's like, oh, look at it melting, look at that. It looks like, oh, the spoon is bending, I don't know, it's cool. But if you're concentrating and shaking and focusing, it adds a little bit more weight to it. But really, really well done, T. I really liked it. I want to see some more stuff. Please send me in some of your other stuff. You said you do some street magic and street hypnosis. I would love to see that stuff. That'd be awesome. But thanks for watching, guys. My name is Kameron Mesmer, the dreaded magician. See you later. Bye.